Welcome to the Beacon Way podcast, where your hosts, Jennifer Christensen and Adrian Wilkerson, talk shop about what really works in today's digital marketing world. As the co-founders of Beacon Media and Marketing, Jennifer and Adrian have been a part of digital marketing since its early stages in the mid-2000s. Tune in as they shine light on what works and what doesn't in the ever-changing world of digital marketing for small businesses.
Welcome back to the Beacon Way podcast, and really excited today. Very special guest. Our schedules have been crazy, and we have been trying to get together now for a couple months, but I'm very excited to have Austin Armstrong here today. I met Austin at the Mental Health Marketing Conference, was immediately impressed with his take on being very forward-thinking in marketing. You guys are in for a special treat. Austin's a lifelong digital marketer, public speaker. He's host of a TikTok podcast called Business Talk, CEO of Socialty Pro, an organic SEO and vertical video marketing agency, which we're going to dig into today. And then a big part of why we're here today is he's also CEO of Syllaby, which is an AI tool. I've talked about it quite a bit of why I think it's something you guys need to look at. But he's also CEO of that. So I don't know how he's pulling all these things off together. I constantly see his content everywhere. He says he's posted over 2,500 videos on TikTok. We got to figure out how he's doing that, but tripling his own business and revenue. And welcome, Austin. So glad to have you here.
Yeah, Jennifer, thank you so much for having me on. And it's been awesome to get to know you over the last couple of years through the Mental Health Marketing Conference. And
we were both talking about how much we appreciate Steve. We appreciate Steve of the Mental Health Marketing Conference. I think both of us have a high appreciation for people that really pull community together of just really good people. And Steve definitely does that. Great. I think we want to dive right in today. There's so much we could talk about. We could definitely probably talk all day. Since we've got limited time, I want to talk about really the AI side of things. So I think the Syllaby is your most recent endeavor. Is that correct?
Yeah. We just hit the 1 year mark of it being a public tool to everybody. So it was a great first milestone. I had worked on it for about 2 years, I guess 2 years in total now. Worked on it for about a year. We officially founded the company January 1st of last year, launched the MVP on the 25th. And it has been the best experience ever as a first-time SaaS founder, a startup founder. It's been really amazing. I think we caught the AI wave at a really perfect time and captured a lot of pretty early market share. And we've learned a lot of lessons along the way. It's not it's a roller coaster, but it's a blessing. And I love the space and I love what we've accomplished so far.
Yeah, that's an amazing take on your first year. I know first years are often so difficult for anyone that is listening that's not an entrepreneur. I often say that you just have to have the strongest stomach in the universe to be an entrepreneur. Certainly a startup in the SaaS space would probably even push the envelope of how much you just have to ride the wave, right? You just have to keep pivoting, ride the wave, make changes. So for those that don't know, that haven't seen the tool, heard about it, what does it do? What's its core purpose?
Yeah, so it's a one-stop shop for video marketing on social media for service-based businesses. And so I really took my expertise in video marketing over the last 10 years. We have a lot in common. We both work with behavioral health specialists, drug and alcohol treatment centers, therapists, psychologists, and whatnot. I love that industry and field. And so Syllaby is a streamlined AI-powered tool that does a lot of what my agency does. So it shows you the top questions that your customers are searching for online, no matter what industry you're in. It generates video scripts around those questions for you, so you know exactly what to say on camera. It will actually generate videos for you with AI avatars right now. We have stock avatars. We're soon rolling out to everybody the ability to create a deep fake, real clone version of yourself that looks like you, it sounds like you, so you can be on camera more frequently. We're about to roll out a video editor as well, so you can actually edit the videos and make them perfect for your branding, your logo, your website, background music, theming, and whatnot. You can then link up your social media accounts and schedule and publish them directly to your social media platforms right within Syllaby. And we also just rolled out analytics. So you can look at your views, likes, comments, engagement from the posts that you've published from Syllaby, all within Syllaby. So basically the entire process from what do I create? What do I say? I need help making the video, publishing the video to all of your platforms, and then tracking and analyzing your results.
Yeah, I love that. I think you've identified so many issues, right? Even a lot of the tools that we're using, like Opus and other things like that, they're great for helping cut and make the reels and all those things. But when it really comes down to it, I think the core issue with clients I see over and over again are two things: the resistance to video. They don't want to be in camera that much. They don't have time to be in camera that much. That really is a huge issue. And then they don't know what to say. It's interesting because you can sit and talk to a founder and they can tell you all day long in conversation what their clients are concerned about or what problems they solve. But when it comes to you sit down to do a video and all of a sudden it's just, I think we have that old mentality of, I guess, like the movies or something like that. Like most of us get kind of starstruck and stop. So do you find that that's easing that fear piece, or that, like you said, not knowing what to do? Is that the core thing you think you're solving?
Yeah, there's quite a few problems. I think you hit on a lot of them there. Consistency is also one of the most important things as creating content. You can't think that you just put up a random, even if you're willing to create video content, just sporadically or randomly uploading a video once a month, or you put up 2 videos and then you take weeks off at a time. That's not going to get you the result that you want. You have to show up consistently providing value and education and nurturing and opening that dialogue up to the audience that you're trying to reach online. That's how video and social media is really going to generate leads and sales and clients for your business, is showing up consistently. And so we've really worked that in through being able to create content at scale really quickly that's hyper targeted to your target demographics questions that they're searching for online, and then scheduling it, and then even gamifying it with we have a consistency tracker in there. So you can actually build the habit psychologically of daily content creation. That's really our goal. But yeah, it has helped a lot of people stay more consistent.
What industries or what people are you seeing? Is it because you have the background in behavioral? Are most of your clients in that field?
Yeah, we have a lot of behavioral health users using it. A lot of real estate and mortgage brokers are using it as well. Lawyers and coaches, consultants. Mostly if you have a service-based business and a lot of people are asking questions about what you do, the services that you offer, the emotional pain points that lead to you creating content that resonates with those emotional pain points. Those are the businesses that are seeing the most amount of traction.
That's fantastic. So when you said you worked on this for a year, I still remember your talk at the Mental Health Marketing Conference. I think it was a couple of years back, and you were really focused on TikTok. But I think maybe that might have just been this speech. I don't know if that's like where a lot of your effort was at the time, or you were just focused on that. But definitely you were pushing video, you were talking organic. So what led you to flip from, I would say, more traditional agency, more like what we do, to like really going heavy into the AI space?
Firstly, so this is going to be a long-winded answer here.
Yeah, go for it. I'm really curious.
Firstly, I'm just fascinated by science fiction. I love sci-fi movies and sci-fi books. And so when I first started creating content on TikTok was the first platform that really exploded for me. I was gaining a lot of traction by creating videos about useful websites for business owners and entrepreneurs. I was creating content around, here's SEO strategies to help you increase your rankings on Google, or here's some video strategies that you can incorporate to grow on YouTube and then TikTok and all of that. And when I was really analyzing the types of content from a content funnel perspective, where at the very top of the funnel, you have broad awareness oriented content that can reach the most amount of people that are still relevant for your business. And that for me was the useful website videos. And so I was creating those and they started to go viral. And so I went down that rabbit hole and set up affiliate marketing revenue streams and whatnot. And it was really like, I'd be a liar if I didn't say I don't like the vanity metrics, the large
Right.
follower
Of
counts.
course. Yeah.
It's nice to have. It was a natural evolution to switch from just sharing useful AI websites or useful websites to useful AI websites. So I really started
Okay.
paying attention to the AI tool space when DALL-E 1 came out from OpenAI. Now this was maybe 3 years ago, maybe 2.5-ish years ago or something like that came out. I'm like, now we're in the AI era. And this is different. This is different from NFTs and Web3 and crypto and all of these other like trending buzzwords, because there's immediate practical implications and use cases for the everyday person. It's
Right.
not just a hype thing. Like, you can go on and test this out in real time. It's simple to do, and the results are tangible and amazing. And so then it just snowballed and escalated into that. I was creating content sharing AI websites that were fascinating. It was continuing to grow my audience. And all along that, so I have my agency. We help clients do everything from social media strategy to SEO, video editing, publishing their
Right.
videos for them. And there was a lot of the same problems that came up over and over again that would either prevent clients from working with us in the first place, from, again, like, the whole reason they hire an agency is that they don't have the time or the know-how to figure out what works on social media for them.
Right.
But the problem is that not everybody can afford an agency, unfortunately. What we do is amazing. We have the keys to unlock the world for businesses, and particularly in the behavioral health space, I'm a big advocate of, like, they have information in their head that can literally save lives. I don't care necessarily if it becomes a client for you. Of course, that's the ROI metric there. But by
Right.
creating content around like how to quit meth addiction, even if they just watch that video and it resonates with them, it could save lives. And that happens all the time. You see those comments. But that's another rabbit hole there. But a lot of companies or startup therapists or solopreneurs don't have the budget to hire an agency. They don't have the budget to hire staff to run the social media. They're a solopreneur, so they don't have the time to regularly create content themselves. And they don't want to manage five different AI tools to
Right.
make all of this possible for them. So I took my years of experience with social media marketing and 10 years of video marketing experience and my best practices for growing service-based businesses on social media. And we turned that into Syllaby so that we could ultimately help more business owners get started on social media for 1/100th of what our agency costs. So that was
Absolutely.
number one. Social media has changed my life. I've been doing this for 19 years. And so my vision and driven, it's crazy to think that, but it's changed my life. And so I just want to provide the education, the resources, the tools, and the processes to help change other people's lives as well, if they're willing to do it. And so this is a way to unlock everything that I simply can't do for you at a loss. I create content around all of this stuff for free.
Yeah.
And Syllabi is a tool. So that's my long-winded answer for
No,
the product
I'm
switching.
so glad you went there, because it's almost the weird unspoken thing that agencies don't talk about. Like, our minimum client, and I know we're a lot lower than many of them, but our minimum is 3,000 a month. And for a startup therapist or somebody who's there is no way. That does not even make sense for them. And we try to be as approachable as possible on that affordable scale, but we're really positioning for the multi-location or behavioral health, or the ones that really do need that extra lift on that side of things. But I think this tool, where I'm coming at it from an agency standpoint, is that, one, we can use it to refer for clients that just they are not a good fit for agency or even a freelancer, really. And then also, why not use part of this to even get some of the costs down to be a little bit more efficient? That's going to help our clients even on like that initial grow phase. It just makes sense to me. Anything we can do to, like you said, we've got a client right now. She is so amazing what she's doing in the virtual IOP space for teens, but she's just at that startup founder level. And just to even take the time between all the things she has to do to get her business solid to get her voice out there, to get her information out there. She's got stuff to share that I know will save lives. It does save
Yeah,
lives. She's doing that on a daily basis. But if she can share more of that with the world, it's just going to make access better. Yeah. So yeah, I love it.
wholeheartedly
I
agree.
think that's a great thing. So tell me the next phase. So it sounds like the next phase is just to keep iterating, making it better, making it more personalized. It sounds, is that the next piece?
Yeah. So we're very hands on with our users. We do user interviews every single day. We've been built in public since the beginning, even like when we were building it before it was launched. I wanted
Yeah.
this to be a tool built by creators for creators or aspiring creators and
Right.
get that real feedback in real time. So we're constantly talking to people about what features that they'd like, what user flow improvements. And so we're constantly working on those, on tweaking what we already have. But yeah, so some more customizations we're working on for the individual, sort of machine learning elements to train each individual login specifically for you. So
Okay.
it becomes more custom and not as sort of broad. We're also opening up the types of videos that you can create quite a lot. So it's heavily driven on the AI avatar creation right now. You can absolutely just find the topic, generate the script, upload a video of you reading the script or paraphrasing the script, and then using the backend with the editor and the publisher. We're rolling out the ability to create a real clone version of yourself. So if you don't want to use a stock avatar, you want
Right.
you to be the brand, but maybe you just don't want to show up and create that day, or you're
Right.
drained energy wise, you're on vacation or whatever. And we're also rolling out faceless videos entirely with stock background videos playing that are built for engagement with subtitles on the screen, and there's no face actually on them. And so you have the ability to create content and videos however you want. Those are some of the immediate roadmap items that we have. And then we're going to be rolling out features like multi-seat, where it'll be a great tool for agencies where you can have individual sub accounts for your clients so that all of the data is not mixed in. If you have a
Right.
car client and a therapist, right? You don't want like
Right.
all of the keywords like mismatched, right? Keep everything organized. That's also going to allow us to go up market to mid market clients, mortgage brokerages, group practices that have tens or hundreds or potentially even thousands of
Right.
employees that could use this tool on behalf of the business and market themselves. Uh, those are a lot of the things that we're going to be working on over the next year.
That's exciting. Yeah, definitely let me know when you get that multi-seat. That's a
Yeah.
really great thing. So, full disclosure for those listening, I'm going to have Bob Hutchins on next week. We're going to talk the ethical concerns about AI. I know it's a lot of people's questions and what are the guardrails, and as we're talking about having an avatar and all of those things and video, I've definitely heard that come up in many conversations. We don't have to go deep into that, Austin, but I'd love your take more. And I think the futuristic, none of us
Mhm.
know exactly where this is going to end up going, but I would love your point of view. Like, where do you see AI taking us, transforming the market, maybe in the next year and then the next 5 years?
Yeah, it's transforming at a pace that is faster than I would argue any other technology we have ever seen. And
Agreed.
so it's almost hard to anticipate what's going to happen within 5 years. But within the next year, I think there's going to be a lot of regulations and restrictions. Unfortunately, there's already been bad examples of people creating deepfakes of celebrities in
Right.
not safe for work content. I also see potentially issues with upcoming elections and politicians,
I do
where
too.
creating a deepfake of somebody else outside of you that says something can be distributed very quickly on social media before fact checkers can confirm or deny it. And when that is the case, it's oftentimes already too late. Misinformation is already spread like crazy on social media. And now having the ability to deepfake somebody else that looks and sounds incredibly real in
Yeah.
realistic backgrounds and scenarios is a very potentially scary thing. And so that's why we're really hyper focused on only being able to create these clones of yourself
Right.
uh, for positive impacts. I think there's more like, I don't like to think about you can't ignore these very real scenarios that are already happening. It's not even a what if, it's already happening.
Already happening. Yeah.
But from my perspective, I want to provide this technology and these processes to help people out and use it in a positive way that will make a positive impact on them. And so part of that is being able to only clone your voice and only clone your avatar through very strict consent, legal, compliant processes on that. The other thing that's happening that we're exploring, but also that the social media platforms are already incorporating, is AI generated warnings on the actual content. Right. When you upload a video on TikTok, and I think this is also on YouTube now as well, there is a ticker that this is AI generated content, and that labels the actual content. Another thing to consider too with these deepfake generators, there's an invisible watermark on them. It's invisible to the naked eye, but when you look at the codecs and files of it, it has that watermark there that shows that it's AI. And so that's how, if it came under review in court or something like that, you could very easily tell that it's a deep fake, not a real video. But we're also exploring exporting videos with an AI, a little logo in the lower left or right hand corner or something like that, and just chatting through some of these ideas. But these are all really ethical concerns, and in general, I think it's going to get even more powerful over these years. ChatGPT is continuing to roll out features like the GPT store, which and connections to programs like Zapier, which opens up all of the rest of the internet. And then you have things like Auto GPT that are going to get even more powerful, which basically you give it a goal and you link it up to ChatGPT plus automation platforms and say, go. And it not only just creates the content for you, but it then performs the actions for you as well. And so it's going to drastically speed up the timeline of not just content creation, but research in every individual field. I think it's going to drastically change medical research, scientific and technological advancements, like big picture crazy thing. Like I think it could advance the space age and connect the world, because these are things that individual researchers only have so much time and brain computing power, even if you have large teams working on something. But when there's programs like Auto GPT that you can set it on a task, turn it on, and it automatically does all of the research from all of the information in the world and begins to run its own tests until it fails, until it passes, and then processes repeatable tests and processes. It's going to explode every industry. And I think it's going to drastically change the world as we know it over the next 5 years. It's already changed our world in the last 2 years since ChatGPT came out. There's never been faster adoption to a platform. Your mind could go wild with where it's going to go. And I think they're going to try and pass some regulations, but I think that's too late for a lot of it too.
And a couple key points. I'm definitely old enough to remember when the internet came out, started, and I was a really early adopter. Still remember standing in line to get my little dial-up modem back in the day. Yeah. As things progressed and transformed, and then when social media started, at first I wasn't a huge fan, but as I entered into it and then it became even business for me, it was really, okay, we have this. I could see even then there was so much negative potential. Maybe I didn't see all the negative potential, but you could see in the beginning, okay, there's going to be lots of opportunity for people to abuse this. But I guess my take to everybody when we talk about AI, if they're coming from that fear perspective, is if you want to be part of the conversation, you need to join in. If you want to be part of how we decide as a society and a world that we handle this and what guardrails and what things we put into place, how we use it, then you need to know what's going on. I don't think this is one of those that you can, it's not, oh, I just don't want to be on Facebook. This is changing every industry. So I completely agree with you. I think I have no idea what 5 years looks like either, but I appreciate your take on that. And I do think this year, 2024, we're going to see more and more, like you said, coming to the surface of both the negative and the potential, and that will lead to more regulation, which
Yeah.
there has to be some for sure.
Yeah, no, it's the Wild West right now. And just to add on to your point, there's a lot of creatives out there that are just putting their foot on the ground, artists, authors,
Right.
writers, creators that are like, AI is evil, a detriment to humanity. It's anti-creation. It's trained on other people's art and words. And I get that. And I hear you and I understand it. But to Jennifer's point as well, like you can't just have that opinion by reading a newspaper headline or a news report. You have to know and experiment with these tools so that you can make the change that you want.
Right.
It's not, you have to understand how these tools work in order to appropriately talk about these things and make changes and pass regulations and whatnot. You
Yeah.
can't ignore it. It's impossible to ignore.
The cat is so far out of the bag.
So far out of the bag. And like with productivity and everything too, like even if you're not like a creative, but you still have those opinions because you have friends that are creatives, like this is maybe a bold take, but it's becoming more common. But if you don't learn these tools and you fight it, your job probably will not be replaced entirely by AI. That's arguable depending on what industry that you're in. But it's far more likely that a person that leverages AI will replace your job over time because
Absolutely.
their output is so much more. It's like saying 20 years ago, I refused to learn the computer because this is a fad. Every job in existence incorporates a computer to some capacity. It's just one of those
my
things.
grandmother was 64 and she wasn't planning on retiring, but she was 64. She worked for Ford when they introduced the computer and said she had to move to that or the typewriter where she had been for all those years. And she made an educated decision at that point and said, I'm not going to learn it. And so I'm going to retire. Interestingly enough, in her 80s, she came back around and still learned it and got into it and all those things. But I think this is even a bigger shift than that. I think this is bigger than the Industrial Revolution. I think this is a bigger shift. I am so excited to see what you do with this. And are you still accepting investors? Where are you at that point for the?
Yeah, thanks for asking. Yeah, we are actively raising right now. We have one VC backing, a couple angel investors. We have a public crowdfunding round on wefunder.com as well.
Excellent. Okay.
So anybody that wants to invest in the AI space, you don't have to be a registered investor or at that angel level. WeFunder has made it incredibly easy for anybody to invest in a fast growing startup.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much for your time. Any parting words? Anybody who's maybe just hasn't really dug their toe in, if they haven't started working in AI, where would you suggest they start?
I always recommend people to get started with ChatGPT. It's just so intuitive. It's so powerful and you can evolve with it because of all of its integrations. And there's a million AI tools out there now for everything that you can imagine. It's overwhelming. Focus on the tasks on a daily basis that you do that you find extremely tedious. And there's probably an AI solution for that individual task. Seek out those tools to help you rather than just trying to implement everything all at once. Focus on your key needs that an AI tool can help automate or do more efficiently or increase your output and save you large amounts of money. And just begin to dabble. There's so much free content out there now too. I create videos about AI tools every single day. I know Jennifer creates a lot of content about AI tools. There's YouTube, there's amazing YouTube channels. There's conferences that you can go to. Just jump in and start learning. That's the best way. Just start.
I agree. I think starting is the key. And for the overwhelm, when I did the marketing AI certification, one of the ways he laid it out, it was very organized. I hate Excel, but I love how Paul from Marketing AI Institute did it on Excel. And so his advice was basically exactly what you said. So take the things that are the most tedious. Those would be your first use cases that are the easiest to fix. And then rank it by value of kind of everything that you're doing. If something has a huge financial payoff, but maybe it takes longer, maybe consider that a project. But the small things, if you start seeing success with the small things, that's really what's happened with me, with a lot of people I know. You start feeling more confident about even taking on the bigger ones.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's great advice. And thank you so much for your time. Excited to see this one live.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks for listening to this episode of The Beacon Way. We hope you enjoyed it and had some good takeaways. Please subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. And if you've enjoyed the show, please give us some stars on your podcast channel of choice. For more information, tips, and notes from the show, check us out at beaconmm.com. For more information on how Beacon can help market your business, email us at welcome@beaconmm.com.